Fabrizio, thank you so much for joining us. How are you?
All good, all good, all good. Nice to see you. Thank you.
Lovely to see you too. I mean, we've got so much to talk about, as we always do on this podcast. We are going to start with, though, Kevin De Bruyne. Now, obviously, he announced, or City announced, that he was leaving after this season. We don't really still know where he's going to go, but how advanced are the talks between him and the Chicago Fire? Because obviously, America, I think it would be a popular place to go.
Yeah, it's a concrete possibility. At this stage, we are not yet at anything like final or advanced. It's still a conversation. It's still an approach from Chicago Fire. But what I'm hearing is that Kevin De Bruyne is quite open to speaking to them, to hear from them about the project, the idea, the vision they have. Let's remind that Chicago Fire already wanted to sign a superstar a few months ago, and the target was Neymar Jr. Then Neymar decided to go back to Santos. Now Kevin De Bruyne is a concrete option. So they're going to push. They're going to try also the next days to convince Kevin De Bruyne. He's going to also consider other opportunities, maybe in Europe, if some club can offer a good project, a good contract. So I think it's going to take some time before Kevin makes a decision, because it's also about his family. It's also life decision, not just a sporting decision. But for sure, Chicago Fire want to try, and Chicago Fire will be there.
And then what about this? I think this Aston Villa is a really, really interesting talking point, because I think Unai Emery, it does feel like favours Marcus Rashford as a number 9 at the moment over Ollie Watkins, who's sort of been their number 9 for so long now. How likely is it that Aston Villa are going to make his loan permanent at the end of the season? And what about PSG and Marco Asensio as well?
Yeah, for Asensio, I think it's going to be easier, because Asensio, in that case, has a different salary compared to Marcus Rashford. So Aston Villa are very happy with Asensio. The relationship with PSG is excellent since a long time between Monchi, Luis Campos, Nasser Al-Khelaifi. So I think there is a good possibility to find a solution for Marco Asensio. For Marcus Rashford, the real point is about the salary. Obviously, the salary of Rashford is always an important point, and that's why Aston Villa are careful now. Obviously, they're very happy with the player. The player is very happy with Unai Emery. As you mentioned, that point is absolutely crucial. Marcus Rashford wanted to find a club where he had the chance to feel important, to play Champions League football, and with Aston Villa that was absolutely perfect. But now Champions League football, I think, is going to be a crucial factor again. If Aston Villa can qualify to Champions League, it's going to be easier also financially for them to pay Man United, to find an agreement with Marcus Rashford and to make the deal permanent. Otherwise, it could be not that easy. But for sure, the player is happy there, and so I'm sure Villa is going to try. Then we have to see financially, also for the fair play and all the other rules, if Aston Villa can make it happen.
Fabrizio, good to see you. Let's move on to Chelsea. Andre Santos doing excellent at Strasbourg, linked with Bayern Munich. What's the situation when he returns to Stamford Bridge? Is there any possibility he could be for sale this summer, or are Chelsea going to shut that door?
Look, never say never in football, because we know during the summer transfer window many things can change. But the clear indication coming from Chelsea, and to be honest, it's not only now. Also 1 year ago when they sent a player on loan, has always been the same. Andre Santos is 100% part of the Chelsea project. He's going to be part of the Chelsea squad for next season. So that's the vision of the club. They want Andre to be part of this team. And also when they received important approaches, also, for example, I remember from Porto. Porto 1 year ago were prepared to pay a big transfer fee to sign Andre Santos on a permanent deal, to let Chelsea also have an important sell-on clause, to have a future financial control of the player. Chelsea said no. Chelsea wanted to keep the player, send him on loan to Strasbourg, and that was the clear idea. So at the moment, the clear indication I'm getting is that Andre Santos will be one of the midfielders for Enzo Maresca next season, also with Dario Sugo, who already signed his contract. There is obviously Caicedo, Enzo. So the idea for the midfield is quite clear and includes Andre Santos.
So it includes Andre Santos, but perhaps not Joao Felix. The expectation is he's going to return from Milan back to Chelsea, but maybe they'll be looking to sell or loan Felix again. Do you see a Felix permanent exit? And how difficult is it, given that Chelsea won't want to make a book loss?
Yeah, that's a good question, because I think it's not going to be easy to find the right solution, but I think they will do that. They will do that because Joao Felix at the moment, from what I heard, is not a really important part of the Chelsea project. His loan spell at Milan was not good at all. So at the moment, the idea is for sure from AC Milan, the player will not stay. They will not open any negotiation with Chelsea to keep Joao. And from Chelsea side, I think they will try together with the agent of the player to find a solution as soon as possible. In terms of timing, I think it could take some time because there is interest, for example, from Turkey. There is also interest from the clubs in Portugal, like especially Benfica, who would love to bring the player back. But financially, we know that the salary of Joe Felix is a big one. So usually these kind of deals always take time. So let's see how the conversation will go. But my expectation is for Chelsea and Joe Felix to part ways again in the summer and find the best solution possible.
So that's potentially one out at Chelsea. I mean, could this potentially be one in? What's the latest on Liam Delap? Is it Chelsea, United who are front runners to sign him?
Yeah, both of them are trying. Both of them are interested. So for sure, the player is doing fantastic. And so Man United and Chelsea are very attentive to the situation. From what I heard, they already made contact with the agents of the player to be informed on this relegation clause, £30 million. It's a big opportunity. Also, Man City have a specific clause for Delap. But what I'm hearing is that City are not planning to make any investment, of course, after signing Marmoush in the January window. And they have Erling Haaland. So the idea is Chelsea or Man United. There is also interest from Germany, it's true, but the player is really keen on staying in England, staying in Premier League. And so let's see, because for United now the full focus is obviously on Europa League to understand if they will play Champions League football, similar to Chelsea, but obviously in a different situation. So both of them are waiting to understand about Champions League football, about the financial investment they can make on the striker, but Delap is on both clubs' list for sure.
And then what about Dean Howson then of Bournemouth? Because it does feel like Chelsea are pushing for him as well. Who are Chelsea not pushing for these days, to be honest? And what about Liverpool? Because are they another club interested?
Yeah, they are, both of them, and I would add also Arsenal, because from what I'm hearing, also Arsenal are interested. Newcastle dream of him, but I think for Newcastle it's going to be very difficult to get the deal done now with Chelsea, Liverpool, and Arsenal. These three clubs are really interested. So I think he's going to stay in the Premier League because there is genuine interest from Real Madrid, and also the player would be really attracted by Real Madrid as a Spanish player, of course. But at the same time, I'm hearing that internally at Real Madrid, they still not decided whether they want to sign a centre-back or not in the summer, how much they want to spend. They have Raul Asensio at the club, who is doing very well. So that's why Real Madrid are not so convinced, not about Huijsen, but about signing a new centre-back in the summer. And this is why the timing is helping the English clubs. So Liverpool will be there, Arsenal will be there, Chelsea will be there. There is a risk clause, £50 million. So the negotiation is on player side, basically. And I'm sure that all these three clubs will push again in the next days, weeks to try reach an agreement with Dean Huijsen and his camp.
Let's talk about Bournemouth. There's a lot of focus, isn't there, this summer on potential outgoings, but one man they definitely would like to keep is their manager, Andoni Iraola. We know that Tottenham have looked at him in case Ange Postecoglou goes. What chances, though, of Bournemouth ending this speculation before the summer comes and Andoni Iraola signing a new deal?
Yeah, that's what they want to do. So Bournemouth are trying to extend this contract. They had already some contacts with those close to Andoni Iraola to try reach an agreement as soon as possible, improve his salary, discuss also eventual clauses into his contract for a future move. But they really want to keep him for this upcoming season. So the conversation is ongoing between Iraola and Bournemouth. It's true that there is also interest from Tottenham. Iraola and Marco Silva are two of the main names on the list at Tottenham for the potential new coach in case they decide to fire Ange Postecoglou. So there is a concrete possibility to see Tottenham trying to attack the situation, but Bournemouth are talking to Iraola. They are quite confident to keep him for one more season. So let's see how the conversation continues. I'm sure also this week there will be new round of talks between Iraola and Bournemouth, but for sure they want to keep him.
Now, football writes some great stories. Yesterday, Liverpool moved within one win of the Premier League title, and Trent Alexander-Arnold came off the bench and scored the winning goal. He ripped off his shirt. He went over to the away end. It was passionate. It was dramatic. And some Liverpool fans think maybe, just maybe, he's not now going to go off to Real Madrid. How certain are you that this deal for Real Madrid, which is verbal at the moment, but soon to be formalized seemingly, is going to still happen? And is there any possibility that Alexander-Arnold might change his mind?
Look, that's a question for Trent, not for me, because I can't sign contracts, unfortunately. But to be honest, I think they are at super advanced stage. You know, as you mentioned, verbally, the deal is almost agreed. So it was just about sending all the contracts, checking all the documents, having the final signatures, but it's just about the formal part. Then in football, anything can happen, but I think in this case, Real Madrid have no doubts. If you speak with people at Real Madrid, they already consider Trent as one of the players at their club for next season, and I don't think this is going to change. Then I think Trent, with that celebration and in general, is always showing his commitment to Liverpool, how important it is for him to win this title, to show his love for Liverpool till the very end, and then there is Real Madrid waiting for him. Then if he changes his mind, we should ask him, but at the moment, again, Real Madrid are convinced that this is not going to happen.
Yeah, I think Liverpool fans are just clutching onto that little bit of hope, weren't they? When he hung the shirt on the corner flag, I think they were like, "Oh my God, he's going to stay." What about Victor Osimhen then? Is Saudi a potential destination for him? And what about suggestions from Turkey, which suggest that Man United have already agreed terms with him?
No, there is nothing agreed with any club at the moment. Also because for Man United, as we said, for Delap is the same for Osimhen and other targets. Man United are waiting to understand about the Europa League, whether they will play Champions League football next season or not. Obviously, they hope so, but it's still a long way to make it happen. So Man United are waiting for that, to understand how much they can really invest on the summer transfer window on the striker. And obviously, a Champions League budget would be completely different. So that's going to be a really important point for United. There is interest in Osimhen for sure from Man United. I would add also Juventus, because Juventus want to sign an important striker in the summer, and you will also appreciate Osimhen. There are more clubs interested around Europe. And then about Saudi, I think that can be a possibility, because Osimhen, I remember last summer we were explaining the situation. Osimhen wants his salary fully paid by any club, so he's not going to make any discount. He's on a big salary at Napoli, and so I think this is going to be an important point of the conversation with Man United, with Juventus, with any other club. From Saudi, obviously, they could cover his salary. He was ready to go to Al Ahly 1 year ago, then they decided to sign Ivan Toney on deadline day, but he was ready to go. The deal collapsed because of Napoli and Al Ahly, not because of Victor. So the player could be really open to making any sort of move as long as the salary is okay, the project is okay. So he's going to take his time to decide, I think, in the next weeks and months. I don't see him staying at Galatasaray. So I think it's going to be an interesting case in the upcoming months.
And do you see Matthias Tell staying at Spurs then, obviously only on loan for this part of the season? Do you think Spurs will take the option to sign him permanently?
They are very happy with Mathys Tel in terms of attitude, in terms of qualities, in terms of potential. So let's see if they will try to renegotiate terms with Bayern at the end of the season. Let's see also what the player wants to do, because I think this is not only on Spurs, it's also on the player. The player has an important say on what he wants to do for his future. And obviously, for a player, it's important to understand Postecoglou staying or not, who could be the new coach, who was the project, Champions League football or not, because also Tottenham are in a semi-final in Europa League. So there are several points to clarify. I think it's going to take some time before all of them make a decision on this, but I can only confirm to you that Tottenham are quite happy with the player and also convinced that he has a huge potential, as they were when they decided to sign him.
And just last up, Fabrizio, Matheus Cunha, linked with Manchester United and Newcastle. Do you see his most likely destination as within the Premier League? And a bit like Dean Howson, could this be quite a quick deal because there's a 62.5 million release clause, and seemingly both player and Wolves would like this resolved in the earlier part of the window?
Yeah, I think it can be a quick deal, to be honest. I think so. So let's see how quick, but I think this can be a quick deal because, as you mentioned, there is a release clause and all parties involved, the player, club, they really want to resolve the situation as soon as possible. So I think it can be a quick deal. There is genuine interest from Newcastle. They really, really like the player. They believe he could be perfect for their style. And similar to Manchester United, there is an appreciation, but for Man United, again, the budget is going to be important. So I think for Man United, it could take a bit more time to understand how much they can really invest on new signings in the summer transfer window, but for sure there is genuine interest. I think Newcastle, in terms of interest in this moment, are a bit more aggressive because they consider Matheus Cunha as a perfect player for Eddie Howe, and so I think they can really go strong on this one. But again, from United there is interest, and so with a clause, anything can happen.
And just before I let you go, Fabrizio, and this is against my better judgment, but producer Nick has given it to me, I'm going to speak Italian to you, Italian. So
let's try.
Last week we did this game where we were given some funny Italian phrases and we had to guess what they meant. So I am going to read something to you in Italian. I'll translate it because you probably can understand my English. Let's be honest. And then I'm going to give you 4 options and you have to tell me what it means. So the Italian phrase is this: Stai stando Maria per Roma. And it translates to you're looking for Maria around Rome. How bad, first of all, was my Italian?
No, it was very good. I'm quite surprised. Very good. Congrats. We just have to improve the cercando part, the second word, but all the rest was quite perfect.
Stai cercando Maria per Roma.
That's very
There
good.
we go.
That's very good.
Beautiful.
You're looking
Yeah.
for Maria around Rome. So in English, does this translate to A, you are on a romantic journey, B, you are looking for something that is impossible to find, C, you are being dramatic, or D, you are chasing somebody who is out of your league?
I think it's B.
And B is the correct answer.
Good.
Shock
I'm
horror.
very good at this game.
I was going to say, I think there was going to be something serious wrong, Fabrizio, if you didn't get that right, to be honest.
Yeah.
Did you know that, Liv?
I knew it because I had the answer on my screen. I don't know. I think I probably would have gone for maybe B or D. I don't know. I'd have gone for B. I reckon I'd have got it right. I say that now. Fabrizio, thank you so much. It's been a pleasure as always. Don't forget, you guys can ask Fabrizio your questions and he will do his very best to respond to them in the GMS newsletter. Head over to Give Me Sports website, or you can scan the QR code as well. Thank you so much, Fabrizio. It's been a pleasure. Enjoy the rest of your day.
My pleasure.
See you later.